Hi, I'm AD. I head up customer success at Solverboard, and today I'm going to show you a platform tour of Solverboard. So it always helps to start with our diagram here, our little animation. I'm going to be taking through strategy, ideas, tests, options and projects, and a few other things along the way. So we always recommend that our organisations on Solverboard start with their strategy. It's really important to rally your team and your solvers, that's your idea creators, around what it is you want to achieve as an organisation. So we give you the opportunity to do that with vision, mission, innovation strategy, but also with goals and sub-goals as well. So if I click through to this one on our demo site, you can see that it's started to track some ideas and clusters to this goal, and we've got a test and some projects in there as well. And our objective key results, OKRs, allow you to add key results down here. So quite moonshot targets that we want to achieve as an organisation. And they allow you to assign an owner to those for accountability and then set the status on those as well. So I'm logged in as a user that has permissions to change these. So I could quickly change this to not realised or part realised, for example. And if I just click on this, you get a little bit more detail over here on the right. I can set a progress against it, actual result and some commentary as well. I can change the target date and who it's assigned to as well up here. And then this one we've broken down into sub-goals too. So we've gone for different areas of our business in order to break that down. And within each of these we can add key results as well. So really important for rallying your team around what it is you want to achieve. You might already know the vision and mission, they might be up on your wall somewhere. So it's a really great place to bring everything together within the platform. The next thing I just want to go over is ideas, and we'll come back to portfolio and analytics in a little bit. So this is your idea board, and you can see lots of cards on this page of varying sizes. And the larger the card, the more activity some things have. So activity could be comments or follows by your user base. And it's basically an indicator to you as the innovation manager or innovation team that this idea is probably worth reviewing right about now. You can also set what this threshold is for the size of the card to get larger and when it's flagged to you for review as well, and that can be done within your settings page. Another view on this page that you might find useful is the list view. So this allows you as a team to quickly go through the whole list of ideas on your platform, and you can rate them against our scale, and I'll cover this in a little bit more detail later. So quickly back to the board view, let's have a look at this one. So this is an idea that one of our solvers, our idea creators, has probably posted. Equally, it could be any member of the team, and you can see who's created it from over here. And so we've got a little summary. This is what they wrote about their idea. They can also upload attachments as well, and I could do that too as the platform owner and innovation manager. And also you can add comments down here as well, and that's how this idea has reached its threshold and gone above threshold. And it's now ready for a review. So this is a first pass against a series of criteria about how well it matches to our organisation's goals, how viable we think it is, whether we're set up to deliver it with feasibility, and desirability. Do our customers want this? So I can rate this on some sliding scales here, and we might decide that we're not very well set up to deliver this one, but it's really desirable and our customers want it. And we can also rate it against the goal it's been aligned to, or we can change that if it's not the most appropriate one, or we can add more than one as well. And if we're using ambition, horizon and type as an organisation, then we can set those here. These are customisable, so if you're not, we can change these for you, just let us know. Equally, you can change these too. And down here at the bottom, just a bit of a summary of the above. So this is a good place to just whiz down to and just see what the score is on that. We could decide that that's not high enough for progression at this stage. We call progression graduation in Solverboard. So let's say we rated that a little bit more highly. You can see that updates down here. So we might now decide that actually that's a very good score. I can give this a little recommendation here. I recommend we push this straight into testing. And then I can click on the graduate button up here and push that into our tests module. So as I mentioned, it's called graduation. So when we click on graduate, we get a little summary page just as a reminder, and we can graduate that through to our tests module. Equally, we might say well, it's not quite ready for us, or maybe not at this time. It's not really aligning to our goals. I can archive this one too, just to free up that idea board and keep it cluttered free. So if I jump over into tests, I didn't graduate that one just because it's our demo site, but you can see we've already got some tests in there. So tests, we've got a summary again, and this time we've got the testing team flagged down here so you can see who they are, and any attachments and comments are down here as before. And then within a test we've got our Revolve process. So this is a cyclical way of adding more information and testing out your test at this stage. So all of these can be updated as well, so if problem definition doesn't work for you guys, you can change it. And each stage or each cycle has a set of questions within there to help you shape it. So these can also be updated if they don't work for you, but we have designed these to help you get the very best out of your test and plan out all the information that we think you'll need for the next cycle. So once all of these questions have been answered, the testing phase allows your testing team to start putting hypotheses against it, and within each hypothesis we can outline an experimentation method. So this one's got desktop research, for example, and within that, once our team has started this experiment outside of Solverboard perhaps, then they can add their lessons learned as they go through that. So these can be positive or negative, and you can outline what the significance of a lesson is as well. And again, there's a space for attachments down here too. So if I can just go back out to our test now, and back out to our test cycle down here, we can just see a little summary about hypotheses and how they've been proved or disproved, or still in pending status. That will be there. And we've got those learnings pulling through as well, so if there's lots on each experiment, they'd all appear here, so we've got a good view of those. And then at the end of that cycle, once the testing team have completed their experiment, we can decide what we want to do about this one. So we've chosen persevere on our sample one, but equally you could say it's not gone in the direction we thought it would, or we're not proving out our hypothesis to be what we thought, so we could stop this. We could stop this test at this point. Or we could decide that actually it's gone in a completely different direction when we started testing it, so we could pivot at this point too. So the next cycle is problem solution fit, again updatable, and I won't go through each one of these in detail, but the format is the same, just a different set of questions to help guide and put more detail around it as you go through these cycles. And along at the end here we've got costing and financials, so what do you think this one will cost to bring it to market, and you can start to plot those in. We've got some, the table does a little bit of maths and calculation for you as well. And you can also add any notes or attachments again. And the same for financial projections, so this is more about the revenues of course, and the calculations are automatically worked out for you here. Then down at the bottom, our test owner can recommend that this one moves through into projects if you're ready to, or they might say this one's best suited to our options backlog because we don't yet have the time or the resource to do it. Whatever it may be, they can summarize that here. And we can also submit this for validation now. So if we've got a team of expert reviewers, whether they be internal or external, we can submit this to them so that they can review the findings of the test. So we're within validate on the test now. You'll recognize this screen from before when we were looking at idea review. It's exactly the same methodology. but this time there's a lot more evidence behind it from all of that testing that you've done. So we can now give this a score against these, knowing what we know now after our experimentation's finished. And again, with the goal and ambition, horizon and type, we can make sure that those are aligned to the right categories here. And all of our lessons learned have been pulled through so that we can see those as well. And then there's just another summary of our review down here and any recommendations that have been added. And again, we can choose that we want to graduate this onto the platform. So this time we can say I want to send it to the options backlog, we're not quite ready, or straight into a project. So I won't do that on our test site, and I will jump over to projects and show you what that looks like. So this is probably one of our most comprehensive modules on the platform. I'll take you through it at the high level, but we also have a video series that breaks it down into a lot more detail, and I'll link to that below. So this is our project summary page. We've got a little bit about what it is. We've got all of our team members broken down into their categories here. The summary of the financials, so about what we know so far. And then up here we've got the project status, so what stage is it currently in. We can change that if we're in a position to do so. And any actions that we've got as well, and I can filter this to just show my own if that's more helpful. And then within the scope we've got lots of opportunity to add detail about this project. What it aims to do, what's in scope and out of scope, and then importantly what the success criteria would be. So when this is realised, what would make this a success? What does the future look like? And we can highlight this to the rest of the team to keep them focused. So within benefits, we've got a little bit more around what the goal is and how this project is going to help. And then some detail around the market context. This is optional, of course, but anything that you can provide to your project team will be helpful here. And then there's some financial benefits further down here too. So the projection table that you've seen before for revenues on this project. And then finally at the bottom, we know that not every project realises a financial benefit. So you can add non-financial ones too. That could be employee engagement, employee motivation, for example. Those could all be down here. And then within plan, we've got a high-level chart view of all of the different stages and releases within our project. And if that's not the terminology or the methodology you use, then you can use whatever you like. And we've got groups of tasks here, and then those are broken down into individual tasks. And again, everything can be aligned to someone, assigned to someone to do. And the status of those things can be set, and of course more detail can be added if we click through as well. Within each stage and each release, you can have an automatic stage review and release review meeting created for you. And within those meetings, you can pull in anything you want from the project to serve as an agenda and invite your team to it as well. So again, there's more detail on that within our project series videos, and I can link to that below. We've got the opportunity to add more context around the planning for this project too, and the costings are pulled through here as well. So what will this cost to bring it to market? And then we've got our monitors within here. So we know how it is important to list out your risks, the lessons learned, opportunities, etc. on your project. So we've got a risk register, issues register, lessons, opportunities, and finally stakeholders as well. So you can also say who are our main stakeholder groups, what's their interest level in our project, and what's their influence, and what's their current state as well. And then finally on our project we've got workspace, so we can see all of the tasks within it and who they're assigned to and what their current status is as well. So just a couple more things to look at. So we've got portfolio view over here, so this is your bird's eye view of everything within the platform. So we can see our ideas in the first column, tests, options and projects, and the status of each one as well. And within each at the top you can go straight over to their analytics and find out a little bit more about all the statistics behind those. So there's lots to dig into here, but you can see on this one in particular we've got a chart that shows our live ideas and clusters, and the size of the bubble represents the activity points on them. So the largest one probably needs a review if not done so already, and the colour of them shows you whether they've been aligned to goals or not. So if we had lots of silver ones in here, then I might do a little reconciliation and just go through and make sure they're aligned to goals. So there's lots more within here, and there's lots more to explore within Solverboard. And if you need any help at all, then head to support.solverboard.com. You can also help us improve and give us feedback over here, and you can ask us questions and raise support requests from here too. So within your own platform, do use this and let us know if you need any help, and we'll be right with you. And we'd love to talk to you as well. So do keep in touch, have fun playing with Solverboard, and all the best.